Hey guys, when you think of the word vocation, what comes to mind? A job, a skill? Yes, and yes. But it's really deeper than just that. And in this video, we're going to examine not only the meaning of vocation, but also how it can affect our destinies as Christians. I'm Stace Massengill, and this is the GC. Point number one, vocation defined. A vocation, which comes from the Latin term vocatio, meaning a call or summons, is an occupation to which a person is especially drawn or for which they are suited, trained, or qualified. Though now often used in non-religious contexts, you might be surprised to learn that the meanings of the term actually originated in Christianity. Now, what were the vocations of the disciples when Jesus called them? Well, many were fishermen, and Jesus, of course, said, "I will make you fishers of men." One was a tax collector. How was he suited for becoming a disciple and witnessing for the kingdom? Hey, God can use all kinds. Finding your vocation, your path, your forte is much like figuring out God's will for your life, which we discussed a few episodes back. And it's something most everyone struggles with at some point or another.
You can't just discern in your mind. You can't discern in a vacuum. You have to actually do something. You have to take a leap of faith, like literally. And it is scary because you don't know what's going to be on the other side. But if you're doing it in prayer, God will not let you down. For me, that was like the golden piece of advice was to act while trusting God. It's so tempting that I try to figure everything out and have the whole picture, and you can't. And that's part of what He wants. He wants that trust, but He is there, so He'll catch you on the other side.
Point number two, how does vocation affect destiny? Jesus himself was said to be a carpenter, or more likely, given the area he resided, a stonemason. How did that profession help qualify him for his destiny? Well, being the Son of God qualified him for sure. But consider how his vocation would play a part, taking raw materials and making them into commodities that would be useful to many. Kind of like how he took the disciples and made them into witnesses of his glory and proclaimers of the gospel. Now, in truth, as I said before, God can take anyone and use their vocation to mold them into someone useful for His purposes. Keep in mind that a person's job may or may not necessarily be his or her vocation. Remember that vocation has to do with a calling or something one is equipped or trained for, something you're really good at. But more than that, you know that this is your thing. Yes, your calling.
It really started with me. I had an identity crisis coming into the NFL. I didn't know who I was in Christ, which is the most important thing, is to know who you are in Christ and know your purpose. My rookie year, go, play a football game and break all these records and do all this and go home and just sit down and be like, kind of like feel empty. And I was like, there's got to be something more. What profit a man to gain the entire world but lose his soul? And I thought about that. I'm like, man, you got all these things. You're drafted, you play in the NFL, you have money, you can buy what you want. But all that means nothing if you lose your own soul. And so I didn't want to be that guy that has all these material things and all these accomplishments that are given by the world, and then in the end, lose my soul. And I did not want to be that guy who didn't give back to God what He already had given me.
Point number 3, recognizing our potential. God gave each of us a calling or vocation of some sort. He uses the very strengths that he gave us to carve out our destiny. But often we fail to see our own potential. This is partly because of the influence of Satan, who is constantly pointing out our flaws to us. We get so preoccupied with our shortcomings that we forget about our strengths. So how can we recognize the potential that we have? This involves an intentional effort on our part. Here is a valuable exercise. Sit down and just start jotting down a list of all your strengths. Now be honest and get a close friend or a spouse to help if it makes it easier. Make a list of each other's good traits. Then take some time to look over that list, really examine it, and get those positive points embedded into your head. And the next time that the devil tries to guilt you by pointing out your flaws, beat him back with the areas where you excel or have made improvements, thanks to God's help. Remember, Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that God causes all things to work together for the good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose." And we are called for his purpose. Regarding his purpose, Job made the following statement back in Job 42, verse 2. He said, "I know that you can do all things, and that no purpose of yours can be thwarted." Vocation, destiny, and your potential in God, they're all connected. The power of positivity will promptly and perfectly perpetuate your potential and help promote a more permanent, proper personality. Try saying that 5 times fast.
What profit a man to gain the entire world, but lose his soul?
Hey, hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, there's only one episode left of the GC this season, okay? Episode 10 coming up pretty soon, so stick around, watch for that. I want you to hit that like button if you like this video, and of course you did. Go ahead and hit the like button. You can leave a comment below if you want. And if you want to see more GC videos, just go to our YouTube channel at the web address you see right over here, and click on the big red subscribe button up there in the upper right-hand corner. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that bell as well next to the subscribe button. That's a notification bell. Hit that and you'll receive notifications whenever new episodes are uploaded. You can also like us on our Facebook page at the web address over here for facebook.com/KingdomHero67. If you're on Twitter, follow the GC there as well at KingdomHero67, or go to twitter.com/KingdomHero67. And don't forget to share these videos with everybody. Share them with everybody and spread the word. Help us do that, because that is what the Great Commission is all about. We'll see you next time right here on the GC. Until then, later.
You need Jesus.